our oldest son, who's Josh Carpenter, he was 21. And on July 20th, he decided to take his own life because he was addicted to meth. You know, I had told my husband the month before he had to go on a trip, and I got to go with him for just a couple of days. And I said, we're so lucky. We're so blessed. I mean, God has provided for us, and we have beautiful, healthy children, and, you know, we're just so lucky. And I never knew that 6 weeks later, I would lose a child to an addiction that my husband teaches about in college. My husband is the professor that actually teaches drug use and abuse. You would think that we would know the symptoms and the signs and the behaviors and the verbal language that these kids talk about, and it happened to us. Our life will never be the same. I'll never be the same. And I wonder how long it had been going on. If someone would have told me what I had believed it, my perfect, beautiful child was slowly killing himself and killing his brain on meth. And, you know, he said, I'm not ever going to do it again, Mom. It's really bad, and I'm going to go get help. But he wanted to do it himself. And I'm like, you can't do this by yourself. You've got to get some help. Well, I'm going to get help. You know. And then he pulls up this poem that a meth addict had, I guess, written. She wrote a long poem about meth and what it does to you. And he said, that's how I feel. I feel hollow. And I said, how do you feel hollow? And his girlfriend and baby were right there. And he said, even knowing that they love me is not enough. I feel empty. And I gave him a hug, and I said, you know, you're going to be okay, Josh. I know that you're going to get through this. And, you know, he hugged me and said, I know you need to go, Mom. It's like after 4 in the morning. And so I gave him a hug, and I said, I love you. And he said, I love you too. And that was the last time I saw him. And just thinking of all these signs that I never got. I never thought a lot about. And, you know, thinking, oh, it's just a phase. He's going to, you know, they all are going to figure this out someday. He's a good boy. He's educated. He's going to go to college, and he knows that we love him, and he's been raised up in the church, and he knows God, and, you know, he wouldn't do that to me. You know, that he loves me. He knows better. I wish that someone would have maybe had the courage to talk to him, or talk to me when he was in school, and maybe say, you know, I'm concerned. I don't think that there is support for these kids to lean into. I don't know for sure, but I know I never had any information come home in the high school levels of signs of drug addiction or support groups for parents to call, or, you know, there's always these 30 pages of papers that you have to fill out every year, and I was filling it out this year for my children that go to school, and I thought, man, I wish that there was something in this packet. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when I feel like that's when he started struggling with alcohol and pot and pills and things. You know, this is me sharing what my family has gone through and is going through. Because I'm just a normal mom who loves her kids, who would never think that this would be my life right now. And it is. And I don't want it to be someone else's life. I want you to be able to really look at your children and realize there's maybe some stuff that you don't want to know that you need to know. And reach out and try to help our community prevent what's in every school. Every school has a child that's like Josh, that plays basketball and skateboards and is an AB student that's going to go to college and drives a little car and loves his friends. There's a Josh in every grade, I know. And if I can help someone's child not feel like there's no other hope because his life is so messed up. You know, I have a 4th grader, and I think even that age needs to start understanding how bad drugs are and what drugs do to you. So these kids need to have someone that understands how to explain it. I think it's very important that our schools understand that it happens to a normal family, an educated family, a family that has a career, that goes to church, that is involved, that, you know, if everyone helped and was accountable and connected, our children would know that they had someone to turn to.